Welcome to Long Island Talks with Mace in your face and Dr. Jean. Let's get lit together. Everything Long Island, even if it's not. Mace, wake up, you're on the air.
Sorry. Hi, everyone. I'm Mace in your face, and this is Dr. Jean.
Yes, you weren't going to let me do this alone, were you, you devil?
I might have if I didn't get woken up by Dan.
Well, thank God. Danny's a good person. We were talking about what a good person he was before the show.
That's true, but not after he gets done with our influence.
Why, thank you, guys.
Now that we're on the air, we could say what we really think of him, or is it the opposite?
Don't confuse me.
Okay.
So it's been a long time since we've done this.
It has. How many years? Don't say our ages. How many years without saying our ages?
I think the last time we co-hosted a show together was 2002.
Yes. We were children then.
Yes, we were.
Yes.
And do you remember when you first broadcasted with me?
Yes.
1992.
Oh my
When
God.
it was the Unfamily Hour with me, your host, Mace, in your face.
I was a caller.
You
and
were
then
a
you
caller.
invited me to be a co-host.
Then I invited you to be a guest. Then I invited you to be a co-host when I found out about all your famous media background.
Which is?
You were, let's see. It's not just the which is, it's which were.
I was a witch. I was on the witches show on the Amish, seriously, they had Amish witches, and for Halloween, I was on a show about Amish witchcraft. But I was also on Jenny
Amish
Jones
witch.
as the staff
You're
psychologist.
witch. Yes, you were Dr. Jean of Jenny Jones Show.
I'm still Dr. Jean.
You're still Dr. Jean, but not
She's
on Jenny
off
Jones
the air,
Show.
but I'm not. We're on the air
You were
now.
Montel Williams.
Yes.
You were on Maury Povich.
Geraldo.
Ricky Lake.
Sally.
You almost got me in trouble with Ricky Lake.
Yes. Well, you got yourself in trouble.
Yeah, but you didn't remember who I was until you said something.
I had to say Mace said hello to you. I mean, he's the guy you met in the bar.
Who didn't believe who she was and said, go have another beer.
Right, and she was telling the truth.
Yeah.
Nobody believes anything. It's like I put a profile on one of the sites and they said something like, which part of your profile is true? And I was like, I don't lie, usually, unless I'm covering for somebody like my friend Mace, the devil.
What?
Yeah.
What?
I only lie when I'm covering for somebody.
What?
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 Why would I be covering for you?
Because I didn't make a show and you were stuck doing it yourself?
That's what I was afraid I was going to have to do today if you didn't wake
Oh,
up.
like you never did broadcast by yourself before.
Oh, I did do broadcast by myself.
Didn't you have a syndicated radio show once?
At one point, I think we both had syndicated radio shows
I never had
alone
syndicated.
and together.
I never did syndicated.
Oh,
You
wait a
did.
minute. I used to cover for Dr. Joy Brown, who's she's dead now. It's sad, it really is, because she died at 71. We shared the same birthday, 12 years apart, and I remember getting the news that she died very
Just
suddenly.
gave away your age.
They don't know exactly how old she was. She looked young. Come on, she looked young.
And now the only way you could cover is to lay down on her grave.
Why would I want to do that?
No, I'm just saying the only way you could cover now.
Oh, cover, you mean
Cover.
cover for her.
Cover for her.
Literally.
Yeah.
You know, this guy's very literal. That's the problem. I think that sometimes, I might just be saying something and you take it very, very literally. That's a certain disorder. I forgot the name of it, though.
Yeah, but I
But
have
it
more
is
than
a
one, you
certain
know that.
disorder.
My invisible
psychological
friend
disorder.
says I have multiple issues.
Multiple personalities or multiple issues?
Both.
Girls usually have multiple personalities, and one of them is
Oh,
always a
God,
boy.
don't men know it?
Wait a minute. We weren't going to talk about your exes now.
I'm afraid to make a
I
comment.
wasn't talking about them specifically.
I don't know. I've been an ex, like between, what do they say, more women are borderline personalities and more men are psychopaths. So the borderlines often do the stalking, but so do psychopaths.
Do they?
Only the borderlines just annoy. What are you doing?
I'm hungry.
Are you? Oh my God, Danny, you got to stop this guy. You can't eat an apple that crunches while we're on.
Oh,
the
I
air
zoomed into him
together.
while he took mid-bite.
But it
I-
tastes
You
good.
can't do that.
But it tastes good.
You didn't offer me a bite.
You want a bite?
No.
Come here,
I
I'll
don't.
bite you.
No. what are we in, where are we, in Chunky's now? Are we?
Oh, you remember that?
I
Should we
remember
talk,
that.
reminisce about that?
The vampires, okay.
Ladies and gentlemen,
spanking
today
vampires.
the first show is about getting reacquainted and reminiscing. And Spike, Mistress Intensity, a world famous dominatrix who was a guest on our radio show years ago.
And tied him up and threatened to cut him with a razor, and he's afraid of razors. So if you see him in the street, whatever you do, don't threaten to cut him in any way.
No, it was to shave me.
Oh,
It wasn't like a
shaving.
razor for cutting, it was a razor to shave.
So that's even less intimidating. How do you
And what
shave?
what did I do? I escaped the handcuffs, didn't I? Which
did.
freaked everyone out.
You got the handcuffs from behind your back, under your feet, to the front, and then you had more
And then I opened the
leverage.
handcuff.
You did.
Yeah.
Only you could do that.
Well, yeah.
Unless
I-
you want to get up on the table and show
I-
everybody how you did it.
I channeled Houdini.
You did.
Yes, I did.
I thought he channeled you.
Maybe.
Maybe.
It worked. I got out of the handcuffs.
Anyway, we had a lot of fun with when Spike tied you up
so
in
Spike,
handcuffs.
and we had more fun when Spike was a guest, doing a guest appearance at Chunky's, a goth club in Mineola, and put my whole radio show staff on the guest list, and we went in. And we walk in, and everyone's like, Dr. Gene. And Gene's freaking out. How do people recognize me? I said, because these people don't have day jobs. They watch the Jenny Jones show and recognize you. Not one recognized me by looks, but as soon as they heard my name, Mace, they recognized me.
And your voice.
And my voice, because our radio show was the first ever radio show that was simulcasted on the internet way back then in the 90s. So,
Way back when in the 90s.
yeah. So, cut a long story short, these two lesbians invite Gene and I into the ladies' room for us to watch a show they're going to do for us. And then I instigated them to accost Dr. Gene and start stripping her and molesting her.
Is that what happened?
That's what happened. And unfortunately, folks, that was before the cell phones had cameras. Or well, we'd be in trouble.
Fortunately. No, actually,
you've-
you went into the ladies' room with the lesbians because what was happening in the men's room that you didn't want to become a part of, even though they invited you.
Well, I don't know because I never bothered to go in to find out.
Then why'd you come in the ladies' room?
To watch the lesbian show.
But remember when the bouncers told all the men, and somehow they thought you were a man and they told you to get out of the ladies' room?
Clement thought. Thank you.
They told all the men to get out of the ladies' room. And I said there were things happening in the men's room. Now, if they wanted to be fair, they should have gone into the men's room and told those two guys to clean up their act very quick. And then we could have had the ladies' room to
The apple
ourselves.
is good.
You're going to
Gala
wind up in the
apple,
men's
organic.
room. Why are you eating while we're talking?
I'm hungry.
So, why didn't you eat before?
I did.
I tried to feed you.
I had a double bacon cheeseburger and onion rings on the drive out here.
That's all.
And that wasn't enough?
No wonder you're so hungry and you need an apple.
And you know, big difference between radio and TV. We did radio, and I would fart.
On
And
the
you would-
radio.
and you would go, oh, God. People thought it was sound effects and a joke. Now, if it happens, they'll see the look of horror in your face and know it's for real.
Oh, my. So you better not do it, right?
Those onion
I
rings are
don't have
starting
the
to get to
devil
me.
horns. You do.
Onion rings are starting to get to me a little.
Turn off. Well, luckily, nobody on the air. They can see us and they can hear us, but they don't have the sense of smell on yet.
So what other great memories do you have from the old days?
What are the great memories? Let's see. We did prank a few people where they didn't know I was co-hosting with you because the co-host has more rights than a guest. And then you would ask them questions and everything was very serious. And then suddenly we'd come back from a break and you'd say, by the way, Dr. Gene Cirillo is co-hosting with me. And all of a sudden
live
they would
on the
get
air.
busy and, I think I have to go to the bathroom. I think I have something to do. I think my phone is ringing.
And you know what we did also breached FCC rules, right?
How did we do that?
Because when you call someone when you're live on air, you're supposed to tell them we're live on air.
We did.
Not till later on.
I thought you told them that you were live on air, but you didn't tell them that I was there
Oh, that could be.
co-hosting with you. So we didn't breach any rules.
Okay.
You know, they couldn't see me because it wasn't visual, and they could just hear the two of us. And that anyway, you didn't breach any rules. You don't have to worry. Here, there's no rules, right?
Past the
None?
statute of limitations anyway.
Oh, okay, okay.
And yeah, no FCC regulations here.
Here, right. So we're safe.
Yeah,
I don't know if all the viewers are safe, but we're safe.
never safe. Well, at least their mental health is not safe when we're around.
Well, that's why I'm here, to fix the mental health.
Remember BOCES?
Oh my God, do I remember that?
The
one?
fundraiser
That
we
was
tried
how many
to do?
years ago? Yeah. Right, when they gave
What's his name,
out...
Jim Murphy?
Murphy was the last name. He's probably not around anymore, but he might be. Who
And this was
knows?
the early 90s, and he retired with like close to $1 million.
Close to-
But
you
shy
have a
of $1
good-
million.
Yes.
So we tried to do a fundraiser to bring his
To bring him
retirement
up to $1 million.
$1 million.
I remember you bringing up some really good, bad memories, bittersweet memories. And I remember when I retired, or when I left, because I found another job, I wasn't
I'll save
old
some
enough
for
to
later.
retire. Okay, that's fine. And I said, I was supposed to get, I think, 16 sick
But I need to
days.
wash it down.
So anyway, I only got 8, and I said I would have donated my 8, and we could encourage all my colleagues to do the same and do a fundraiser. Then we would bring Murphy over $1 million. Are we allowed
I
to talk
remember.
about him?
Why not?
There's plenty of people with that name, right?
Yeah. Plus, once someone becomes a public figure, to parodize,
That's
do a
true.
parody of them, it's legal.
Okay, I know a lot of public figures that I'd like to parodize. I remember when you used to say you were the illegitimate son of da-da-da. I
Of
won't
Judge
say it.
Abrams.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, but I didn't say I as Mace in your face. I created, there was
Oh.
no TV camera
You-
for people to see me. I did another voice
Another
and made
voice.
believe it was a call-in claiming to be his illegitimate son.
Okay, I got that right. You may believe you were somebody else.
Yeah.
Young enough to be his son,
Yeah.
not old enough
Having
to be
had,
his dad.
if I remember something like some kind of genetic mental defects that from genetic testing was not on the mother's side, so he knew it came from his father. But you're the one, back when he was the supervising judge of Suffolk Family Court, said that the entire Suffolk County Psychological Association thought that he was aging out and wedded of thought and should retire.
Did I
because of it.
really say
Yes,
that,
you
or
did.
did the Suffolk County Psych Association? I don't remember them saying
You
that.
said it.
I remember that we're usually more polite. We might say something like, maybe somebody's getting on in years. We don't usually
said
say
wedded in thought.
wedded in thought,
Yes.
like wedded, like married.
No, tease, not tease.
Oh, tease. Okay,
Or are you just teasing me?
I'm just teasing you.
See, it's
I
still
remember
tease.
when I was younger, somebody said, you know what they call girls like you, teasers. Now nobody calls me a girl and nobody says I'm a tease. Why is that?
I don't know.
I guess because I've become more serious.
I don't know. Serious?
Yeah, hanging around
This
with
is
you.
not Sirius or XM. This is internet radio.
Oh, okay. I thought we were serious.
Well, me, I never am.
We're joking.
And do you remember? Do you remember what I used to tell guests? Remember the big mics in the middle of the table that stuck out in your face?
Oh, yes,
And
yes.
remember whenever someone was really nervous and intimidated by it, what I would tell them?
Yeah.
Just make believe it's a cock in your face.
Oh, what? What did you
Just
say?
make believe it's a big cock in your face. And they just
He is
couldn't
the
help
devil.
but
He is the devil.
they just couldn't help but to first be like and then just laugh and get totally relaxed.
Exactly.
It worked.
Some of those microphones didn't smell too good, though.
No, they didn't.
I don't know. I guess some of the hosts had bad breath, not us. But,
People
some
breathing
of
on
the
them all the
others.
time. I can't picture it
Because
being
you eat
too
apples,
clean.
so you don't have bad breath.
That's right.
Nobody knows the onions and the. And
Then
the-
again, horses eat apples too, and their breath isn't always so good.
I don't know. I haven't been that close with a horse lately. Have you?
Not the way you've been close to a horse.
How the heck would you
Wink,
know
wink,
how
wink.
close I was to a horse?
You told me once.
I did?
No.
I don't remember telling you that. You sound like you're horsing around.
Yes, I am.
My throat is hoarse, too.
Is it? Want a bite of the apple?
No.
Okay.
Not that apple. You know what happened to Eve? And you know what happened to Adam? He got the apple for Eve.
Yeah.
And then Eve took a bite of the apple. They bit from the tree of knowledge.
Then how are we all so stupid?
How are we all so stupid? That's why we're stupid.
Oh, okay.
You know, they're saying now with 23andMe and the DNA and everything that a lot of people have Neanderthal in them. A little tiny bit, but they do have it.
That can explain a lot about society.
Yes.
But you know, I would never ever do 23andMe or any of those
You'll leave a
genetic testings.
fingerprint. I wouldn't do that either.
You don't just
Yeah.
leave a fingerprint. You have zero privilege, or there is no medical privilege to it. So anyone can subpoena it.
Yes.
And I know people who have suddenly been like, oh my God, I did one of these genetic testing things to see where I'm from and the whole bit. And then like 3 months later, all of a sudden I'm getting sued for paternity and child support from some kid that is like 16, that the mother of some kid who's 16 that I never, knew.
You have to
I don't
be
even
rich and
remember having
famous.
slept with her, but it's a genetic match. No, these were not rich and famous people.
Oh my, then how did they get a hold of their DNA? How did they know to
It was
do
through
that?
23andMe when their son did the thing.
Oh,
It showed up as a
gosh,
genetic
okay.
match because you do it, you
Sons
find
and
out all these
daughters.
people you related to. That's how some,
Okay.
siblings that were given up for adoption find each other.
What if one of my relatives is the New York State killer that they haven't caught, or the I-70 killer? You know, that's how they got the California State killer.
Yeah.
So many years later. How did he stop in 86? Serial killers don't stop.
Probably ran out of milk for the cereal.
Okay, must be, yes. Ran out of milk, yeah. But they got him so many years later, 30 years later, because of the DNA, a distant relative. So I don't want to be the cause of one of my relatives going to jail. Of course, not that any of them would be serial killers, but they
Well,
might be fathers of somebody.
I once tried to be a serial killer
Yeah.
with a knife, and I killed Captain Crunch and Tony the Tiger and others.
Oh, what
But
about
the
Lucky
me-
Charms?
the
That's
mess-
what's bad for your teeth.
The mess on the kitchen floor, slashing
What a
those
mess.
boxes. So I gave up being a serial
Did
killer.
your mother spank you? They were allowed to spank in those days, you know.
Yeah, but I always smiled and giggled, so she stopped.
You liked it, right? They say that about psychopaths, that one of the things is they will laugh when you yell at them. They will laugh when you spank them. They will laugh
I don't
when
believe
you take
you.
away
I don't believe
their
you.
privileges. Yeah. You know, they think things are funny that nobody else does. I mean, not, to make any insinuations or anything like that. But, they do laugh at things that
an insinuation
serious.
is only something you're not sure is true. So if
Oh,
you're not
okay.
insinuating, you must know that it's true.
Oh, well, I guess I can't definitely diagnose you because I haven't treated you.
Okay.
You're not a candidate.
No, I have not running for any office at present.
And you're not a candidate for analysis. You know how they say you're not a candidate for analysis? That means you're too screwed up to be analyzed? That's what they say in psychology.
Actually, I thought you were going where you did years and years ago when I was claiming to be crazy. The fact that when you say you're crazy, you're not.
Right, exactly, yeah.
And I was so disappointed to find out I'm not really crazy.
Yeah, well, they closed down all the institutions, Kings Park, Central Islip. I mean, I hear that now all those places are haunted. They were terrible places for women to be because there weren't that many women. For some reason, there's 2.5 men that are crazy enough to be hospitalized compared to women.
Well,
And the women were in the halls, and some of them wound up pregnant. And they were supposed to be on the women's ward.
well, I heard once that only 25% of women with needing medication for mental problems are getting the medication. And all the other women in the world are untreated.
Wait a minute, I know a lot of women that are on medication. A lot of women.
All the other women are
All the
untreated.
other women? Okay. Have you met that many of the other women that are untreated, or have you met the treated ones?
Based on my dating record, I'd have to say the untreated.
So you've had a lot of female stalkers in your life.
I think I only had one that stalked me after breaking up. But if you remember when I did morning radio years ago down south in a station out of Blunttville, Tennessee. What was it? It was, it's just reminiscent about it. JTZ 640 on the AM dial. And
You were the morning man, right?
with Terry T. It was Terry T and Mace in your face.
Yes.
And I had a stalker. It was a blind girl and her mother.
Oh, radio and they listened to radio all day. They couldn't see you. That's
And
why.
whenever I
That's
did-
why they were
when-
stalking you.
Oh, thanks a lot for that. So, nice little
You're
gig.
welcome.
Well, the mother could see. She wasn't blind.
Oh, okay.
But they'd show up all my appearances. They would call in at the station, telling me how, when I was at the store the other day shopping and all this other stuff. And I called the local sheriff, who basically laughed at me and refused to
Stalking
take a
wasn't
complaint.
illegal in those days. It was called harassment.
Yeah, but
And
it just
they
didn't
couldn't
matter.
do anything unless they saw them do it. And if you were a man being followed by a woman, believe me, they didn't take it very seriously.
Very true. But if I was a woman being followed by a guy, whole other story.
Oh, I don't know. There was one guy who used to live in a building where I was, and he used to throw stones at my window. I'd come in, all of a sudden I'd hear all these stones pounding on the window, so I'd peek out through the blinds a little, and you know when you peek out, even if it's just a little thing, they can see it.
Yeah.
So what happened is I would peek out, and he'd wave to me. And one time I called the police, and they went up on the roof, and he ran away. And then next time he saw me in the hall, he like, how could you do that? But the police said they couldn't do anything at that time. He was just harassing me, not a big deal. Those were actually in some ways better days.
So he had a crush on you?
I guess he did, but
Or-
his way of showing it.
Or was he a one-night stand that you wouldn't see again?
I don't think he was a one-night stand that I wouldn't see again. He didn't look like a one-night stand.
Well, just how drunk were you to remember?
You mean, did I have on the beer, wine, or vodka goggles?
Yeah.
Yeah, the drinking age was 18 then. I tease people today, that they keep raising the drinking age. By the time you're allowed to drink, you're too old to drink. I'm too old to drink anything but soda, but you still drink. Does that mean you're younger than I am?
It means I'm younger than you, Jane. And you know why I drink?
Why?
Because you ever just walk around in a store doing what you need to and listen to people conversate and
Yes.
hear the conversation and say, oh my God, this is what they talk about? I need a drink.
Yeah, then it sounds sensible, right?
Yeah.
No, I don't like to drink because I find now if I don't drink, somebody could go to lunch and come back and I can tell when they've had one drink and I don't have to smell it on their breath or anything.
How can you tell?
They're slurring a little bit.
From one drink?
Yes. Well, maybe not you.
There was
maybe
no.
not people
No,
that
there
are
was-
used to it.
There
but
was
people
actually
that aren't used to
there
it.
was
I
a
can tell,
research
yeah.
study years ago that they looked to like totally put the kibosh on, because they found that when doing these driving test things under strenuous, circumstances of emergency happenings, not someone who had 8 drinks,
Yeah.
but someone who had 2 drinks usually reacted better because they thought less, and people with no drinks would overanalyze and not react quick enough to avoid it.
I
And
don't know.
a lot of people that only had 2 drinks were relaxed enough to not overanalyze it and did the correct gut reaction to avoid the collision.
Maybe so, but how did they get into the situation where they were almost in a collision to begin
Because
with?
again, it was a simulated situation for the study.
Oh, okay. Because a lot of times, it was like some kids were buried in the sand, and they had been smoking pot, and the emergency workers got them out. And some of them joked that if they hadn't been high, they would have died because their breathing would have increased with the tension. But because they stayed nice and calm, they were able to get them out. And I remember I said something like, yeah, but if they hadn't been high, they wouldn't have fallen and gotten stuck in the sand. And the guy
Oh, they
gave me-
fell and got stuck?
They fell and got stuck, right.
How did they fall and get stuck?
They were climbing up on the sand, and somehow they didn't think it would cave in.
Ah, got it. Okay.
And it caved in.
Because initially I thought they buried each other in the sand as a goof,
Yeah.
and then the wave came and made it too heavy to get out.
No, they were all climbing up on a mountain of sand, and it didn't hold them.
Okay.
So they fell in.
And maybe if they weren't stoned, they never would have fallen.
Right. So you're better off not being stoned or drunk.
I didn't say you're better off being drunk, did I?
Well, you implied that when you talk about a study that
No,
says
all
that
I said-
somebody's reaction time is faster. But that's not always better for driving. I will never forget once. I was on the highway. I was on the Meadowbrook Parkway, and I'm driving, going a little over 55, I won't say. But anyway, all of a sudden I seen somebody run out in front of me. It was one of the guys in the orange jackets who was repairing the road. Thank God he moved fast, and thank God my reactions are slow because I didn't brake or turn or anything. He went just in front of the car and got off to the grass, and I was still going. Had I reacted, I would have hit him.
Maybe not, because if he's going this way and you turn that way, which would be the correct
I was going to turn that
reaction.
way because he was coming from there.
Right, but that's the thing. If you had 2 drinks, you would have known if he's going that way, you want to go that way behind him.
No.
When you're sober, you turn into the direction he's running and kill him.
Oh, how do you know all this? That I would have turned in the other direction.
I've read. Well, you just said you turned that way, the way he was going.
Yeah.
If you reacted.
But how do you know?
Which is the wrong way to turn.
How do you know that a drunk is going to turn where he's coming from?
2 drinks is not a drunk.
Okay, how do you know that somebody who's buzzed? Did you ever hear that commercial about
2
buzz?
drinks is not buzzed.
Yes, it is.
No, it isn't.
For somebody that's not used to drinking.
Oh, I didn't say someone not used to drinking. People should be used to it.
You mean somebody with a high tolerance?
No, not someone with a high tolerance.
I think there was.
You're trying to twist my words.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
At least you admit it.
if I had 2 drinks, I would be buzzed.
All this
because I
drinking
haven't
talk
drank.
is making me hungry.
Oh gosh, you're going to eat the apple again?
Just a bite or 2.
I'll tell you what. Why don't you drink and do? Should he do a drunk show instead? I think he should do a drunk show rather than an eating show.
I think that would be an
It
interesting
would be
one.
less distracting.
Well, it's not an eating show. It's a talk show. I'm hungry.
Yeah, but you don't.
Talking
eat-
makes me hungry.
You don't talk with your mouth open while you're doing a show
What, eating
because
food?
that is disgusting
Eating
to the
food.
viewers. I don't care. I don't care. Oh, isn't he disgusting?
If they can't get me back, they can see me. I can't see them.
Ah, well, you're not going to have too many people looking to see you. Unless you get some kids that say, you know, this guy on that show, he's so gross. You want to see what he does? And then you'll be on good behavior.
Do you know how many moms have gotten mad at me over the years for teaching their toddler kids to do that?
Oh, my gosh. I could see why. I could see why.
So you've booked a couple of guests for upcoming shows.
Yes, I have.
Who have
and-
you booked? What
well,
are we going to talk
those are
about
going to
then?
be quite serious shows. We might have a physician as my co-host on June 9th and June 16th.
Ooh,
Dr. Robert Mittman, now he has to come on because we said his name.
that's right.
Practices in Levittown and in Bayside, Queens, and in Brooklyn.
What type of
He's
medicine?
an allergist, and he's good.
Oh, I wish I could be here.
Yeah, I know, me too. I know. We're allergic to apples. You know, a lot of people are.
I'm
And
not.
If you're allergic to trees, and I am, that's why, you know, that apple is making me sneeze. But anyway, he might be the co-host. We might have a few people from the Sergeants Benevolent Association talking about serious topics like suicide prevention in police and school children and in everybody. So we can be serious when we need to.
While you mentioned that, you're a psychologist, I got to ask you this. Just seems to me that years ago, when suicide was such a taboo, and it was shame for the family, and it wasn't talked about so much, and it was never said that it's
And
okay.
the insurance companies wouldn't pay if you
wouldn't
committed
pay it.
suicide.
There was a much lower rate of suicide, and with today's more open, accepting attitudes, it seems that, I don't know, the numbers are increasing, and people feel like, oh, and it won't shame my family.
So I can
It
do
won't
it.
stop the insurance. I won't, be this and that. So, and it's okay to feel this way. It's okay, fine, I'm just going to kill myself because I can't take it. Am I wrong that like the new societal attitudes are making it easier in people's psyches to do it?
Not really. It's probably just making them more aware of it. Because one thing,
Then why have rates
if
gone
you
up?
were raised Judeo-Christian, you don't want to go where that devil and the fires are.
I was in New Orleans for Mardi Gras in 2010, the coldest Mardi Gras ever. And I thought it was so cold out there, record cold, there would be no one flashing. They flashed anyway.
You saw
I
my Mardi
digress.
Gras pictures from '98. That was a warm Mardi Gras.
And I digress. And I saw pictures of her flashing.
No, I wasn't flashing. The people I was with wouldn't allow me to.
So I digress. They got, all those, born-again Baptist, church missions from the surrounding southern
They had
states
that,
out
yes,
there.
yes.
With the signs and, condemning everything.
The
And
holy
there's-
rollers, yes.
Yeah, and there's this guy saying, there is no sex in hell. There is no alcohol in hell. There are no drugs in hell. Well, I got kind of tired of this after a point. Turned to my buddies and I'm like, I'm going to go talk to him. They're grabbing me, no, shrug him off. And I went up to him out loud and I said, hey, buddy, how do you know there's no drugs, sex, or alcohol in hell? Have you ever been there to know? It's like, well, no, I'm like, then just shut up, because I'm from hell, and my dad throws the best parties with tons of drugs and alcohol and sex. So you're wrong.
And all your
you're
friends.
lying to everyone.
Look,
And-
I knew a very religious Irish guy who said he wanted to go down there because who do you know that's going to be in heaven? And then I told a guy I knew about, he said, oh my God, you should forsake all those friends. I mean, he was dead serious.
Well, all I know is that my friends were shaking their head, but everyone else was cracking up, patting me on the back saying, oh, I so wanted to go up and say something, but I just couldn't do it.
Well, there's not too many people in your profession up there. So you would have to work a lot, whereas if you went down there, you wouldn't have to work too many hours.
You know, and you know the story about when God went to the devil and said, we're going to settle things once and for all. I'm going to sue you in court. And the devil said, oh yeah? You know where you got to go to find a lawyer?
You mean up where the psychologists are? Aren't we all in heaven?
No, the lawyers are with the devil.
Oh, a lot of
So it would be a little
psychologists are in
biased.
heaven, though.
Are they?
Well, I don't know about that because a lot of us are atheists, actually. You know, we're too intelligent to believe in God, you know, like...
I know there's very few psychotherapists.
But as we get
if any,
older, we all believe in the devil. And, you know, isn't it funny how all the older people who think they're going to kick off soon start going to church?
Yeah, well, how would people not believe in me in the first place?
All right, eat your apple. Eat your apple.
Okay. Remember, you told me to.
You sound better when you eat your apple.
So, who else do you got? I know you got another guest besides
Okay.
the sergeants.
Well, actually, another one is serious, too. He should be on next week. We'll have to have him on through Skype. He's from upstate New York. And he's going to be talking about a police officer who went bonkers and committed an attempted murder on an ex-police officer's wife who he thought was against him while he was in the department. So that's going to be kind of a serious show, too.
That sounds very interesting and fascinating.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we do serious topics, too, right?
Yes, we do, but we do make them fun so people find it easier to listen, and they can listen to topics that they completely disagree with because they get entertained, too,
That's
which
the
is
idea.
the secret of all magic.
Exactly. You know, if only people who like you listen to you. You know, that's like preaching to the choir. What does the priest do? He yells at everybody on a Sunday when it's warm. You know, I know the weather's nice, but nobody's here and this and that. Finally, one of the parishioners says, what are you yelling at us, Father? We're here. You know, that's what happens. You preach to the people that are there. We preach to everybody.
Yeah.
They might not want to listen, but you
Well, we
notice they don't
but
change
we
the station.
That's true, but we don't really preach to them. We just get them to listen to things they otherwise might not consider, so that even if we don't change their mind, they become more understanding of what's going on. And you and I have always felt you don't have to agree with anyone, but it's good when you can understand why they believe differently than you.
Right. You can be open to different opinions, so this way you know how to shoot them down, right?
Oh, no, open to different opinions?
Right.
That's not what society's like anymore.
No.
Which is why things are going to hell.
There is no First Amendment anymore. That's,
No.
I mean, been abolished a
Oh
while
yeah.
back.
Oh yeah, because everyone wants
yeah.
everyone to think exactly the same way. Which
Don't
is,
offend anybody. And
which is-
anything you say is going to offend somebody.
which you find in every playbook to get to totalitarianism.
Yes.
And though to me the world would be so boring if everyone thought, believed, and acted exactly like I do.
I think it would be.
Very boring.
much so. Don't you
It's-
agree, everybody? You know,
Most
things would
people
become
think
very
diversity
boring.
is being all inclusive, of everyone get along, let's hold hands, black people, Chinese people, Mexican people, gay people, transgenders. No.
Straight
True-
white males
Straight white male.
and
Oh,
straight white females, they're allowed in too, you know.
yeah. But the thing is true diversity is individualism. It's thinking and believing what you think and believe until you yourself come to a reason to change your mind, and that you don't have to think or act like anyone else. I'm Jewish. and I don't like anti-Semitism.
You don't look
But-
bluish to me.
Thank you very much.
Okay,
It's a
you're
piece of
welcome.
apple stuck in my tooth, so I didn't enunciate well.
Okay.
So, and the allergies. I need your allergist on sooner.
You do.
So, but I understand people don't like Jews. And as long as you don't act on your dislike of Jews, you don't have a problem with me, and I'll defend your right to hate Jews because it's your right.
Wait a
Even though I'm
minute.
Jewish,
People
and there's
don't
no
like
reason to.
Catholics. They used to.
I'm using it as an
People
example.
don't like white Protestant men. I
I'm
mean,
just
you know,
using
the
it as an example.
wasps, people
It's
don't,
okay. Not everyone has to love everyone and accept everyone. People are free to dislike or hate who and what they want as long as they don't act on it. You act on it, then you cross the line. And if I'm around and there are no surveillance cameras and no witnesses to side with you, only me, you won't like what I do about it. And you might not even be able to tell the tale of it afterwards.
There's surveillance cameras everywhere. That's why everything's being broadcast and made a big deal out of now.
And everyone, just a reminder, one of my blogs on my website, MaceNYLAW.com, under click on viewpoints, go back a couple of blogs ago, is STFU. And since we're not FCC regulated, it stands for shut the fuck up. People talk too much. Every police TV show, someone gets arrested, you have the right to remain silent. Ba ba ba. Do they? No. They run their mouths. And next thing you know, they're in jail.
They're supposed to ask for a lawyer.
Yeah, well, I left that part out.
Well, that's
'cause I
the
wanna get
important
to-
part. Then the cops can't question them again.
But often they do too. The important part is shut up. Today,
Yes.
I won't go into the details of an incident that I was at to try to help someone out who ran their mouth before I got there. Someone got them on tape, and the cop just shook his head and said, "This is 2019. Everyone videos and audio records everything. Why don't people just shut up?" And I said to the cop, "I have no clue, because all I'm ever telling my clients is just shut up.
Nobody wants to shut up.
When you shut up, you get in less trouble. You want to babble? Babble. But talk about the weather, talk about baseball, something that doesn't matter.
Talk about irrelevancies.
Don't talk about anything else that can come into any aspect of a legal area without a lawyer talking for you, because you may think it sounds great and it's the right thing to say, but I guarantee you right now it's probably not, and you're just going to screw yourself over. So where did I diverse from then?
What-
Diversity of thought.
Of thought.
Yeah,
Diversity is a good thing.
Yeah, diversity is a good thing for everyone to be allowed to think and act and believe the way they think, believe, and act, so long as they don't hurt anyone else, because it's hurting someone else that you cross the line. And should I talk about some of the guests I got lined up?
Yes.
Okay.
Please do.
I have coming on, I don't remember which day, Erica Irvin, who has also been known as Amazon Eve. You can Google Amazon Eve. She's a Hollywood actress. She's also a transgender advocate who says, I'm her favorite conservative attorney. And we're also going to be having the comedian from Queer Eye for the Straight Guy, Kevin Downey Jr. And we're also going to be having someone who's politically involved in Nassau County named David Tillery, who is a racial person. By that I mean not white, who has some very eye-opening thoughts about politics and race that if a white person said, people may get upset from, and probably those who aren't white would accuse the person of being a traitor, but open your ears and listen, because it's really reality. I can't remember who else I got.
Really
lined up.
reality. What about Spike?
Oh yeah, we're going to be having Spike Mistress Intensity join us again.
When is she going to handcuff you and shave a little hair off
No,
your
no
arm?
shaving.
Hopefully
No
you won't throw a
shaving.
tantrum like
Whenever
you did the
I've
last
had
time.
surgery, I have shaved. I had my leg surgery. I shaved my leg myself. I had wrist surgery. I shaved it myself because I just can't have a razor at me.
Is your phone ringing?
Yeah, that's my phone.
Well,
Oh.
you don't answer your
Didn't I
phone in
say
the
No,
middle
it's a
of
text.
the-
I'm not going to answer.
Okay.
Okay.
Sure, sure.
I mean, it's bad
Yes.
enough to have you eating apples, but
She
you don't answer
is
phones.
hot, but
What are they
I
saying?
am live on air. Misspelled it. Air. Hate autocorrect.
Well, you're not supposed
And
to text while you're on the air.
Cannot text now. TT talked YL.
Talk to you later.
Yeah, okay.
They say the kids have a hidden language and that the parents, even when they spy, they can't understand what they're saying anyway.
Yeah.
We're going to have to do a show and
responded.
have somebody younger
He
here.
said
to
thumbs
talk
up.
about it. Okay, thumbs up.
Adam Becker, why aren't you watching through the internet right now instead of texting me not knowing I'm live on air?
He should be watching.
Yes, he should. My baby brother.
Your baby
Ignoring me.
brother.
Since you got your phone out, you got a number of shout-outs on the chat room on YouTube.
Oh,
Do I?
gosh.
Yeah.
And where's the chat room?
Well, go to the YouTube. I'm trying to pull it
Can
up
you
here.
put
Oh,
them
go
on?
to the
Put
YouTube?
them on.
I'll see if I can get it on the
They
TV.
won't be as boring as we are.
Yeah, we can, if you can put it on this monitor, we can, check it out and talk to
see.
people about it.
Yeah, exactly. That would be the best thing.
But
if
are
we
they
could put
good?
it on the
Are they
monitor.
good shout outs? Because if they're not, I don't know, I want to read them.
You'll see. You handled the bad ones. Remember when we were on the show in New York? You handled
Oh.
the bad ones that nobody even wanted you to respond to with no screener.
Oh, that's because it used to have, talk, what was it? Body
Behavior, body, and beyond.
and beyond.
Right.
And I came, when I was on as a guest, I was always referred to as the beyond.
The beyond.
The beyond.
Well, look at you. Is that from the beyond? Is the H word in the beyond? I mean, I don't want to offend anybody by saying it, and it is Sunday today, so
Okay, I'm logging on to YouTube.
you're logging onto YouTube, and are you
Yes.
going to see all the shout-outs that we have?
And what do I do? Click on the show to see the, you
I'm
got
not
it?
coordinated enough to even attempt that, so my YouTube will have to wait till later.
Oh, wow.
Still read that.
I got to mute this here because it's
Oh, gosh.
making
Did I
sound
hear
of
a
our
voice?
show. Yeah, that was your voice.
That was my voice. I thought
That
I
was
heard
your
my own
voice.
voice.
Okay, here
I'm
we
I
hearing
have
apologize
voices
for everyone
now.
seeing
Look
me
at
in the
what's
shot.
happening.
That was the
Look what
good-looking
you're doing.
producer,
checking,
Dan
dude.
Justino.
Glad to see you back
Start
on the air. Show your support and drop a like. It's Mace in your face. Now they are judges, like I'm not saying the name of the judge, and I'm not going to say that judge's name. Yes, we should. Van Gogh Espresso Vodka Cola, LOL. I love Van Gogh Double Espresso Vodka, the dark one. I was at a bar once. They had both the single espresso and the double espresso, and I said to the bartender, could I have a Van Gogh Double Espresso and club soda? She brought me a big glass, and it was clear. I'm like, what's this? It's a double of the Van Gogh Espresso Vodka with club soda. I said, no, not a double of. The double espresso, the dark one, not the clear one. Oh, I'll redo it. Next day, happened the same thing. 3 days in a row until it stopped happening. That was our producer, Dan. Everyone give a round of applause for Dan.
Yay, Dan! The show wouldn't happen without Dan.
And he was threatening before we went on air that he's going to find an excuse to bend over the table to show his butt to all of you viewers.
I dare him. He wouldn't do that.
You did.
I was
He
actually
just
waiting for
did.
my
He
opportunity.
just did. I didn't see him.
I made sure the camera was focused on you so they wouldn't see me.
Oh,
Oh,
well,
so
you
either
did-
way, they would
what's
see
the
a
point?
butt. Real funny, Dan.
What's
Double
the point?
entendre.
You mean they'd hear us talking and see a butt?
Yeah,
So they'd
saw
say
his
we
butt.
talk from our butt. But they wouldn't know it was his butt. They would
True.
know it was a man's butt, and they would say you talk from your butt instead of from your ears and
It
your
was-
mouth.
At least it was a nice butt, though, right?
Something like that.
Nice butt? What did you say about you would never go into jail because you got a cute?
Yeah, I can't. I got to be careful.
tushy?
I can't go to jail because I have a cute little white butt that I got to protect.
A little tushy, right? That you
Yeah.
can't, but you can't write. So you said that if you bend over, it would all be over. So you can't go to jail.
No, I'd be too attractive then.
Yes, you would be.
And you seem like you're fantasizing about what would happen there. You
I
pervert, you
know.
pig.
We could do a show. I mean, think of the ratings for that one.
Oh,
Mace got into the wrong person's face, and it was a cop.
you know
And the
what?
cop took it badly, and now look where he is. He's in handcuffs, and
You know-
they're shaving him,
You know what?
and he went, ah!
Think about it. That's the one thing that stinks about doing TV instead of radio. People can see us. Where with radio, we could create through just sound and
Fantasy.
sound effects and choice of words, a fantasy, and create a whole picture in people's minds of me being abused in jail. Like it was really happening, being reported live.
That was, that's fun, but the thing is the millennials don't use their imagination that much anymore. Everything is on Instagram, on video. They can see everything.
Yeah.
So you don't have to invent the story like you do with reading or in the first days of radio.
Hey, Mace, we're getting a request for you to blow your nose.
Do we?
Yep. Oh, you want to know who from?
On the
Long
air?
Island Backstory.
Long Island Backstory.
Oh,
I
I'm
want to give a big
gosh.
shout out to my
I'm gonna
friends
take
at
a
Long
wild
Island
guess.
Backstory.
I'm going to take a wild guess and
For Mace to
who is it?
Gary Jacobs.
blow his nose on the air, I got
On
him
special
the
request
tissues.
from one of our viewers.
I
Special
got him
question.
the tissues. Don't do it
Ooh,
so
sorry.
loudly. Oh, oh well. What are we gonna do? I'm not eating an apple. I'm eating something. I won't even say what it is. Can't say that on the air. Yes, I can. I'm on Long Island Backstory. Yeah.
It was a red apple, and now it's green.
Oh, now it's green. Okay.
Is this better? How does it look, Backstory? Is it clean? Did I get it all?
You're bad. You're bad. It would be like me showing my tonsils. Ah.
Mine grew back.
Examine my. Yours grew back.
Mine grew
You
back. I had
out?
them removed. I had them removed when I was 22, and they since grew back. And I thought it was a joke. They grew back.
How?
Because a tonsil, an appendix, and I forget what other human organs.
Liver
Well, liver can
from
grow.
drinking. You got
Wait,
3 livers.
but a liver doesn't grow back once it's removed.
Totally.
Okay. It'll regrow back, regenerate when part is removed.
Right.
I'm
You're right.
talking when the appendix and tonsils and I forget what else are completely removed. They can, it's rare, but they can grow back.
Let me see. Oh, yeah, he does have tonsils. He's telling the truth. Are you sure you had them removed? Why'd you have them
Yes.
removed at 22? That's dangerous.
Because if I had one more infection, the swelling wasn't going down from the infections. They were blown up so big. One more infection for it to swell up any larger, and they would have choked me to death.
But it goes into other parts of your body. And now if the infection goes into other parts and causes that part to swell up any larger,
But they grew back.
it doesn't kill you. You're
they
missing
grew
what I'm
back.
saying. If the infection were to go to another part of your body
Yeah,
and cause it to swell up,
yeah.
it wouldn't kill you, would it? What, did you miss my
Yeah,
joke?
I missed your joke. I'm
My
sorry.
sense of humor is dry.
Yeah.
Very dry.
Let me throw a little water on it.
Yes. But that was supposed to be funny because you're not supposed to have your tonsils taken out now, even for kids.
But-
They're your first line of defense. Well, ask
except,
the allergist
except
this
that
when
if
he
you
comes
if
on.
you can die from them,
You won't die from them.
again, they were so swollen.
Why don't you stop
one more
smoking?
infection, they would have closed my throat off.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, we
So,
needed them out.
did you bring up the joke before about a cop getting me because I used to investigate cops and broadcast it?
Oh, I forgot about that, but I know you used to investigate cops. You carried this little stash against certain police people in your briefcase. And that briefcase, even though you guarded it with your life, your body, and God knows what else, it was always getting stolen, so you would carry 2 briefcases around
never
and
got
one
stolen.
had nothing?
Never got stolen. But what I did was I left in the back of my car an exact duplicate briefcase with some things in it that were nothing.
Yeah.
Pile of papers, rubber banded, with the top ones having print and the rest blank.
I'm
And a
sorry,
bunch
Gary
of-
wants to know if your gonads can grow back.
I don't know, but if he likes, we can cut yours off to find out.
We'll operate. Hey, I'm not a medical doctor, but I'll bring my tools next time, and you'll bring your tools. And then when we have the physician here, he can fix the damage, right?
Let's make it more diversity. Let's just get a gay rabbi to bite them off.
Why not? Why not, right?
Yes,
He'll probably do the best job of all.
that's true.
I heard the rabbi does a much better job at that operation, circumcision, than a doctor in a hospital.
I think we need to find someone, have a plastic surgeon nearby, have a rabbi cut it off, the plastic surgeon reattach it. As soon as it heals, let a doctor remove it and find out from that person who did a better job.
Okay. You're volunteering?
No. Mine's already removed, so.
Oh, okay, okay. Well, I'm growing one, so, maybe...
You're growing one?
Yeah. Women can do that these days. I mean, what did they say? God created 2 genders, and some people created God knows how many, right?
Yeah.
So, you never know. Maybe I'll grow one.
Reminds me of at my local bar a couple of months ago outside. Me, this other guy, and this woman was standing outside. She's telling a story, and she says, I got a set of balls. So I looked at her, I said, is there something about you you're, finally letting us know? She's like, to joke back, she said, yeah, don't you see my Adam's apple? I said, oh, I thought it was a blowjob injury.
That's good, that's good. Very good, very good. It's like the little boy and the little girl. He keeps saying, I have this, no, I have this. So finally he pulls down his pants, and he shows her what he has. So she pulls down her pants, and she doesn't have one. So she runs home crying to her mother. Next day she comes back, she says, my mother told me I don't have to worry because with what I have, I can get all of those that I want. Now you must have heard that one.
That's another old joke.
That's an old one, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the old ones have stood the test of time. Let's tell
That's
some
true.
new jokes.
Okay. Make one up.
I don't know any jokes anymore, really. I can't tell. You
They
can't
should be
tell
fun.
jokes because every joke has to be politically correct. And if something's correct, it's the way it's supposed to be. Like if a dog
hate
wandered
politically
into the
correct.
studio, it would be funny because you don't expect a dog in the studio. But if a dog was in the street, it wouldn't be funny because you expect a dog in the street. So if things are as they should be, it's not funny. And nobody's allowed to be funny anymore.
So I should leave a banana peel on the floor right where you walk to your chair next, Joe?
I guess so, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that is a shame because All in the Family, not a politically correct show, but it made a comedy situation out of all the social issues going on at the time that were hardcore.
And it made Archie look bad compared to everybody else.
Yeah.
Except for his wife. One thing, there was a man, a family friend, who said his wife reminded him of Edith. And my mother said, she's mentally ill. And my friend, who I was dating at the time, agreed. And the guy got all bent out of shape. What do you mean? I think it's cute. So what do you think of Edith?
Well,
Now that you got an apple in your mouth and you
I
can't
thought
talk.
Edith was smarter than we gave her credit.
She was, you have to be very bright to
She
play
knew-
dumb. You do.
She
Don't you
knew
play Bimbo or to
how to
play,
play Archie
clown? Yes.
without having a problem.
That's true. She could control Archie without having a problem.
And without
Yes.
exerting herself.
But so could Gloria, the daughter, and she was nicer and smarter, and she didn't really offend anybody.
there's
She
a
was married
difference-
to Meathead,
but there's a
and Archie was
difference-
her dad, and Edith
There's a
was her
difference
mom.
between a daughter calming a father and
Yes.
a wife calming a father.
Okay, that's true. That's true.
It's a very different
Yes,
dimension.
yes, that is definitely true.
But through comedy,
Although I don't know how much differences they did in those days, with that type of a family. That was, by the way, my old stomping grounds, Glendale. Very, very Archie Bunker kind of neighborhood.
many neighborhoods back then were just like that.
True, true. That's why
But
the show was so
using
popular.
comedy, they bridge the gaps of society to bring people closer and lessen a lot of social tensions and
Yes.
racial tensions.
Yes.
Now you make a joke about it instead of people laughing to, again, lessen the tension and bridge the gaps. Oh, that's offensive. That's racist. And what are you doing? You're just taking society and ripping it apart further. But then again, if they don't keep dividing us, they can't conquer us.
Well, one way to control people isn't so much to censor them, but to get them to censor themselves. So nobody criticizes anything
This apple
or
is good.
anybody. Nobody even criticizes that apple or the fact that you're eating an apple live on the air.
Want me to bring you one next time?
Yeah, please. I'm
Okay.
hypoglycemic and I'm not eating on the air. I ate before I came on.
Or should I bring you a banana?
Well, you like the apple. Bring me a banana. Yeah, the apple is suitable for you, the banana for me. But we won't say why.
And when she eats the banana, everyone make phallic jokes in the chat room of the show.
Oh, then I'll have to eat the apple.
Eve.
Eve. At least I don't have an Adam's apple and
Devil's
call
horns?
myself Eve.
Oh, you had it removed?
Yeah.
Okay.
You know that surgery, the scraping? Yeah.
Did it hurt?
Well, it doesn't hurt as much as your tonsils, and it didn't grow back.
Well, you know, tonsils being removed at 22 is a lot better than circumcision at 22, from what I'm told.
I would agree. I mean, I've never experienced it, but I would agree.
Now, I'm going to be in Aruba from June 9th to June 16th when you're having the
Oh.
doctor on,
That's why.
filling in on allergies. What I want you to ask him in my absence is what about if a rabbi has severe allergies performing a circumcision in the spring? How dangerous could that be if he sneezes at the wrong time?
Oh, gosh. Oh, gosh. You know, people have been tested with a spinal tap for meningitis. And one guy said he was thinking all along, they have a strong guy hold him so he doesn't move. But what if the guy coughs or sneezes? I mean, that's the spine. Your spine's more important.
Well, why wouldn't they, like, inject you with something to relax you so that you just,
I don't know. You know, why don't they give you appropriate anesthesia? That's what I'm going to ask the doctor, because I'll bet if they were doing it to him, he'd get the anesthesia.
Yeah, well, I think certain procedures like that possibly, they can't do anesthesia because they need to see, like if suddenly your arm flies or your leg or this or that, if they hit something they shouldn't. I could be
Okay.
wrong because I know that's why brain surgery, you're not asleep during brain surgery.
What?
You're not asleep during brain surgery.
How do they get in there? How do they do
They
it?
strap you down.
What?
They take power saws. No, it's some sort of like nerve block.
It looks
Okay.
barbaric,
Or
but I
local.
mean, it's just
A lot of surgery
What
looks
looks barbaric?
when they do the open heads, because like you said, they're aware. You know, they're talking.
Yeah.
You know, it's just I saw one of it on. I think it was an episode of House. You know, one of those medical shows. It was just barbaric.
Grey's Anatomy.
Yeah. Oh,
Oh, Grey's
I'm
Anatomy
sure it
is
was
good.
on
I
both of
turn
those
away
shows.
on
Those
some
are
of their
two great medical
procedures.
shows.
Yes, except in Grey's Anatomy, you know, you could tell there were tons of patients. No one patient was overattended. But House, what irritated me was you had a staff of what, like 5, 6 doctors
On
in
one
House.
patient.
And they're all solely focusing on a single patient for like 2 weeks straight.
Yeah.
Could you imagine the bill for that?
Oh, don't even get me started
The
on that.
bill, I mean, the treatment is what's important. Is don't worry about the bill. Let the insurance pay that. If they will, if they won't, what are they going to do? Take your brain back?
Yeah, but
Put
when,
the tumor
but
back
when are
in
you
there?
going to have, no, but we're talking about House now, where, you know, it was specialty disease and no one knew what was wrong with this person. And you had this like whole department focusing on one patient only for days.
Oh,
Do an investigation outside of the hospital.
Was
you
the
know,
patient alive?
Yeah.
Was
So-
he alive? Was she alive when they finished?
Yeah, then they were cured
Okay.
because they found that was wrong. But they'd go to the person's job and do a forensics, to their house and do a forensic, to the last place they were known
Good
to have been,
idea.
to find what substance they may have been exposed to.
Good idea. Especially with
But
something
it
like
doesn't hap-
allergies or
It
chemicals.
doesn't happen that way in
No.
real life. And
No, it
that's what
doesn't.
irritated me about the show.
They're not allowed. It's a mill. The doctor has to run from one patient to the other.
Yeah, especially with, ooh, we got to wrap it up, and we never thanked our sponsor yet.
We better thank our sponsor.
We got to thank. I would like to thank Mace H. Greenfield, attorney at law, 631-815-5577 at 555 Broad Hollow Road, Suite 306, Melville, New York, 11747, for having sponsored our show today. And next week we will be back. And who's our guest next week?
Let's plug more. Next week, we have somebody from the Sergeants Benevolent Association.
And discussing.
The representative discussing avoiding suicide in police and anybody who's been through post-traumatic stress disorder, children, adults, families. What are the symptoms of post-traumatic stress disorder? Definitely.
That's going to be a great show, folks. So don't forget to tune in next Sunday night.
What about if anybody has anything they'd like us to talk about? Where could they email us?
Well, they can always, I think, post up on the chat board and the comments for our show on WLINY on YouTube. And you could
Specifically,
always email Dr. Jean at
drjeantv@gmail.com, or You'll see my name up on the screen. Jean Cirillo at AOL.com. I'm one of those old-fashioned people that still has AOL.
I have one of those.
You do?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
And I'll give that one out for the show for people to contact me about the show. It is ESQ666LI at AOL.com. That's ESQ, just like lawyer, 666, just like the devil, LI, like Long Island, at AOL.com. This was a lot of fun. You know, I thought I was going to be like totally rusty.
Yes.
And,
You're not.
And I thought you would be rusty.
Well, I got a little rusty.
Well, I'm talking about age.
You know, yeah.
kidding.
Age. Next time I will have Botox. I have no Botox.
And if anybody has any specific things that they would like to mention on next Sunday's show, you can always leave a message on our official Facebook page. That's WLINY Internet Radio on Facebook, and as well on YouTube. You can leave a message there, or you could just email us at WLINYinternetradio@gmail.com.
And a big thank you to our producer, Dan Justino. Big round of applause, people.
Yay, Dan. He made this show happen in spite of the hosts.
And you never know what I might be wearing next time. Or not wearing.
You never know what I might be wearing or not wearing.
That's true. And now we are doing the countdown. Okay, you know what the most difficult thing always is? When you're in like the last 90-second run, it's like, what do I say that won't overrun that time to be cut off? And
Yes.
you know, and so what do you want to say? You want to give a message or a shout out to anyone?
Let's see. I want to shout out to Robin and Susan and Bob, who are going to be watching. They promised me they would be. I don't know. Everybody I told, my family, I emailed. I forced them to watch it. If they don't see me now, they'll see me at some time. I don't know. That's it for now.
I want to give a shout out to all my friends at Canyon of Heroes Sports Pub.
You go to a lot of bars. I don't.
On Montauk Highway in Lindenhurst, the old sports page. We're having a little party there right now, a watch party to watch this show. I want to give them a big shout out. I want to give a big shout out to Donna, Amanda, and Dolly, and to all you, my loyal fans.
And you're going to bring Dolly in next time. Hello,
Maybe
Dolly.
once she is fully housebroken.
Or I'll sing.
When she's fully housebroken.
Dolly's the dog.
I don't want her, you know, peeing or pooping in the studio.
You mean she does that?
Yeah, she's not fully housebroken.
All right, when she's housebroken, you can bring
Yeah.
her in. Okay. I think we have to say goodbye now.
Okay.
Went fast.
Say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. I want to thank everyone for listening. Don't forget, tune in every Sunday at 7 p.m. on WLINW.
Bye.
What?
WLINY.
I thought I said that.
You said WLINW.
Oh, sorry. You've heard of typos? That was a Speako.
I know that was a Mace. Oh.